The plan is already outlined. If Rafał Trzaskowski were to win the presidential election in Poland, he would appoint a new National Broadcasting Council, and the latter would withdraw its complaint against yesterday's ruling by the Provincial Administrative Court revoking TV Republica's license. And this would mean making yesterday's decision legally binding. The plan was outlined publicly by Roman Giertych. The question is, what about the independence of the judges? Today, I took a closer look at the situation. The position of the National Broadcasting Council is clear. After this verdict, in this case, the authority in the court's opinion, that is, the chairman of the National Broadcasting Council, violated the rules of administrative procedure to an extent that could affect the outcome of the case. There will be a cassation appeal by the head of the Polish National Broadcasting Council. After the delivery of the reasoned verdict, the National Council will file a cassation appeal against the verdict with the Supreme Administrative Court. Until the legal conclusion of proceedings, the concessions of TV Republica and of Pulse 24 remain in force. This is about to change. In the heads of the civic platform politicians, there is already a plan to revoke the concessions of, among others, TV Republica, a plan to close the system. Today's ruling by the Provincial Administrative Court in Warsaw on the Law and Justice TV station is not final. The National Broadcasting Council is a stakeholder in these proceedings, and it will appeal the verdict to the Supreme Administrative Court. However, nothing prevents the new National Broadcasting Council, which we will certainly elect after the current one is dismissed by the Sejm, the Senate and the President of Poland, from withdrawing the complaint if it finds it unfounded. And then the verdict of the Provincial Administrative Court in Warsaw will immediately become final. Only, what was the actual rationale that pushed Judge Barbara Kołodziejczak-Osepek to formulate such a harsh verdict, meaning the revocation of concessions to two TV stations independent of the authorities? I had the impression, as I listened to the lady judge, that what she was saying had nothing to do with either the law, the documents, or the facts, but very much with the TVN report, which is why so much of it was nonsense. There is a pretext for the assault on democracy and raising a hand against freedom of speech. Yesterday's verdict means much more. It is clear to millions of Poles that the independence of the courts in Poland has basically ceased to exist. If a given decision is within the bounds of discretion, then the court in no way can take into account the fact that the body did not decide as the court would have imagined or as the court wanted it to be. To me, this is a decision that is virtually incomprehensible. I don't fully understand why the court did so. Perhaps it will be able to explain itself in a written statement of reasons. The administrative court is de facto a court of law. It examines the legality of a given administrative decision. It doesn't challenge it. Courts cannot assess the validity of administrative bodies' decisions, only their legality. And this is what the administrative court did. And secondly, they cannot challenge the discretionary nature of these decisions. And this is exactly what the administrative court did. The court questioned the rightness, which it absolutely has no right to do, and evaluated the discretionary nature. The National Council has the right to exercise discretion, while the Regional Administrative Court has no right to question this decision. This is the first time in 30 years that a TV station's license has been revoked by an administrative court. And this means that indeed democracy in Poland is under serious threat. Politicians want to shut down media they do not like. These courts in general, in their current form, should be abolished. There is a need for administrative courts, but to fulfill their role, they should be created from scratch. It is really impossible to defend the thesis that there are any arguments here other than political ones. The plan has been outlined. But how confident is Roman Giertych that it will come together? This is such a show of revealing what the struggle for the rule of law is all about. If one announces one's president and one's council members, the National Broadcasting Council will withdraw the complaint. Attorney Giertych did not have full knowledge here, because the Republika TV is a party to the proceedings and can appeal itself to the Supreme Administrative Court of Poland. And it probably will do so. Silencing free media, including TV Republica, may be one of the most important points in Roman Giertych's plan. In any case, politicians associated with him and Donald Tusk have their own dreams. The idea is that no other media, except those favourable to the government, should exist. This is what these elections are about, so that we are not asked these kinds of questions all the time.